Hi, 8th grade. Today we're going to be working on writing equations of a line from a graph. Somewhere at the top of your paper, just write down the general equation for a line. Yeah, our general equation for a line is y equals mx plus b. What is your m? M is your slope, which is the same as your rate of change. We can also call this your unit rate, or your rate of increase or decrease. And then what is your b? Yeah, that's your y-intercept. What does y-intercept mean? It means the point where the line hits the y-axis, or the point where x is 0. Alright, so looking at this first example, if we're trying to write our equation, what are the two things that we need? We need our m, and we need our b. Let's start by finding our b. If our b is our y-intercept, that is the point where the line hits what? And that's the point where the line hits our y-axis. Our y-axis is right here. It's the axis that goes up and down. So where does this line hit the y-axis? It hits the y-axis at the point 4. Now we're trying to find our m. So I just need to undo those lines to make it easier. Our b is 4, and now we need to find the lines, or our m. What do we need in order to find m? We need two perfect points. So I see a perfect point here and a perfect point here. A lot of the time these points are chosen for us, but in this case we needed to find our own points. Now I need to find the slope between these 2 points. What is my slope? First I'll find my rise, or my change in y, which is going to be 1, 2, 3. Is that going to be positive or negative 3? Rise will be negative because we're going down. Then I'm going right, 1, 2, 3, 4. That will be a run of positive 4. Now I have my m and my b. Can I write my equation? Yes, I can. It will be y equals negative 3 over 4 x plus 4. And that's my final equation. Let's look at the next problem. It's kind of hard to see on this video, so look at it on your paper because it's graphed a little bit better. What is going on in this problem? We are comparing the cost of renting a car, so the cost per the miles driven. So our y is the cost and our x is the number of miles driven. And again, what are the two things we need in order to find our equation? We need our m and our b. Let's start again with our b because it's easier. Our b is the point where the line hits the y-axis. This graph looks a little different than the first because we're only dealing with positive numbers. Why do you think we're only dealing with positive numbers? Because we can't have negative miles, and it doesn't make sense to have a negative cost. So the only thing that really makes sense is to have the positive numbers. So our y-axis is actually right here. So where does our line hit that y-axis? It hits at this point right here, which I'll draw in red. And at this point, what is our y value? Our y value will be 40. And what's our x value? Our x value is 0 because that's our y-axis, so our b is 40. Now we need to find the slope. I have a point there in red, and I also have a point here in red. To get from one point to the other, I need to go up 1 and over 1. So will my slope be 1? No, because if we look at it, when we're going up, we're going from 40 to halfway between 40 and 60. How much are we going up? We're actually going up 10. And then when we run, if we look down at the x-axis, how much did we run? We ran 5. So simplify that to find your m. You can divide top in, bottom out. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So now write your equation. y equals 2x plus 40. For the question at the bottom, what does the slope of the line represent? This represents our unit rate, or the cost, the dollars per mile. So write it out, but I'm just going to write dollars per mile. Okay, go ahead and finish up the two graphs on the back. Good luck.